Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody around here to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that if you have an invisible condition, you do have a voice, you have a community, you are never, ever alone. Here on Invisible Condition, okay, we get it. We understand. I understand. We all understand that with an invisible condition can be tough. Living with that condition can be tough. I'm 7 brain surgeries in. That doesn't come without some craziness and some difficulty over the years. So believe me, we could relate. I can relate. We could talk. Okay. The thing is, there is always hope as well. And so if you are in the midst of life and difficulty and there is no hope and you don't feel like there's hope, I would invite you to join us. Join us. It's in the land of hope. Hope is a beautiful thing. And I want everybody to live there with me because it's so much better. Hope is a beautiful thing. So join us, won't you? And I want to just highlight one thing before we bring on our incredible guest for today. Now, our nonprofit side of Invisible Condition is called Hydro with Hope, and hydro, short for hydrocephalus, which is a big long word. We didn't want to involve that in the name of the nonprofit. Hydro with Hope benefits families and individuals that are living with that condition called hydrocephalus, which is what I was born with, and has resulted in all those lovely brain surgeries, among many others. So I'm the first to tell you that it can be a crazy life, and there's a lot of ups and downs and expenses and unpredictability. And so we want to walk with you through that. And part of how we do that is talking to families and helping them along that difficult time of, oh no, now my child's got to have another brain surgery. What do we do? And we have a journal that we want to give you that will walk you through that and help you. It's a fill in the blank journal called My Hydro Warrior Story that I want to give to you as our gift. And so that is another resource. And my wife likes and I both like to travel around and speak about hope, because brain surgery can really knock it out of you if you let it. But there still is hope. And so anyway, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And, of course, nonprofits always, it feels like the mission is always bigger than the pocketbook, right? So if you have anybody that you know of that might be a good addition to our board, we're growing our board, we're growing our fundraising efforts and all that kind of stuff. So I would love to hear from you. I'm going to put an email up here. Where'd it go? There it is. I'm going to put this up here. If you or anybody would like to donate to us, hydrowithhope.com, I appreciate it. If you have questions or you want to talk about it, or you know of a great advertiser for the show that wants to get the word out about what they're doing on our TV show, anybody that wants to talk, just shoot me an email, visiblecondition360.com, and let's talk. So, all right, here we go. Let's kick this show off here. Let's do it right. Kent Maxson is going to be with us today, and he is an award-winning songwriter. And it's awesome. He has written for a lot of amazing people that you would recognize, and maybe we'll get to talk about that during the show because it's pretty cool. And I tell you what, he's also had multiple heart surgeries. I'm the one with the brain surgeries. He's the one with the heart surgeries. You gotta get that straight. His music has been performed on international radio and TV, and he's won multiple industry awards and recorded singles with country artists and artists around the music industry that you would definitely recognize. I'm sure we'll get into some of that. Kent keeps a busy touring schedule, performing at house concerts and small venues throughout the South while writing and mentoring young artists in the craft of songwriting. He wants to give back and help others do the same thing, which I love. That's my favorite part. So, all right, let's bring Kent on the show here and see what we can talk about here. All right, there he is. Hey, Kent, thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored that you're here.
I'm thrilled to be here. It's an honor to be here.
This is going to be fun, man. So I have a question that I like to ask everybody. Kick everything off. There's no wrong answer. It's all good. And everybody's answer has been awesome so far. And I'm sure you no exception. I'm wondering, everybody's got ups and downs. Everybody's been in the muck. Everybody's had the mountaintop, right? And at one time or another, when you're down in the muck and the mire and in the valley, how do you still maintain hope?
Wow. I went through something like that just recently. For me, I turned to God. I mean, that's all there is to it. I don't know what else to say. I usually will go to, there's a park around here, a protected wildlife reserve. And I go out there because I feel like when I get away from all the commotion and the man-made stuff, then I'm more likely to experience him. And
yeah,
doesn't mean I hear a voice speaking to me, but there's little things that happen that I know that he's there.
Nice. And he's always there. It's awesome. And I was just talking to somebody about that, recognizing those nudges and recognizing when he's talking to you, because sometimes you don't know it until after the fact. And you're like, oh, that was it right there.
Yeah.
So,
I get it.
Yeah. It's awesome. I love it. Great answer. So I'm really excited to dive into the music side of things and working with all these well-known, amazing people, which actually one of them, you got a little quote from one of them on the cover of your book here, but and he is one of my favorites, which I'm sure I'm not alone in that. I do want to dive into kind of some of the craziness that you've been through though, too. I mean, health-wise, you've been through some crazy, you and I can definitely relate on that. Yours is heart related, mine's brain related, but man, you've had multiple heart surgeries. And when was that going on, and what was the first sign that something was going wrong and you're going to need to deal with this?
Well, I ended up having 2 heart ablation surgeries out of it. And originally what had happened was I started having these chest pains. So they rushed me to the hospital, and they did that little preemptive thing. They rushed me into the emergency room.
Yeah. And
I can remember telling my wife I loved her. And the thing that I told people, all the time before when I was talking to God, oh, Holy Father, and all this reverence.
Yeah.
When all I could say then was, God, help me wake up. I mean, that was all I was really looking for. And so that happened in February of 2013. And when I came out, they told me that there was 2 things going on. One, I had pericarditis, which is the inflammation around the heart. And then I had AFib, which is my heart beating out of rhythm correctly. So over the next, however long it is, to August, from February to August, I was in and out of the hospital, in and out of getting tests, having some kind of a setback and that. So they finally decided they were going to do 2 surgeries on me. One was a hot ablation, which they did on one ventricle, and then one was a cold ablation. So they were taking place about 30 days apart. Now, I don't know if you want me to get into the other things that were going on in my life at that time or just stick to the medical.
No, you can dive right in, man. It's up to you. It's some of it's in, I mean, just because it's invisible doesn't mean it's medical. We can.
Well, yeah, so to kind of retrace my steps, there are 5 things they say that are the most stressful and traumatic you can go through in life.
Mhm.
One of them is the death of a loved one. 2 is a health-related issue. 3 is divorce.
Mhm.
4th is losing your job. And 5th is moving or relocating, buying or selling a house. So I did 4 of the 5 in 2013. I mean, if you're going to do it, let's get it all out of the way.
I
right?
mean, go big or go home, baby. That's
Exactly. So in between the 2 heart surgeries that I had, my ex-wife came in and told me she was thinking about getting a divorce.
Oh.
And about 3 or 4 days after the heart surgery, about 3 or 4 days after that took place, I got a phone call from my boss, and he told me that my company was going out of business.
Oh.
And that my insurance would expire the day before my second heart surgery. So the doctors kindly moved it up, and so that it would be, yeah, exactly. So they moved it up so that I'd be covered. And when I got out, from then until November 20th, my ex-wife and I went through counseling again.
Mm.
And on the 20th, she told me she wanted a divorce. So I left the house that day, and I didn't for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I really can't. It's like a blur. I know some things, little pictures, but I remember there was no reason for me to stay in that town anymore. I had been in Nashville, and I'd moved there to take care of my family. But I'd been here first time writing music. Then I went off to do this, and so. I knew I wasn't going to stay there. And the only thing I can think of, Nashville's where I always wanted to be. It was home to me. And all I ever wanted to do in life was write songs.
Right.
So I moved back. And when I moved back, talk about going through things and discovering God. So I ended up moving into the bedroom of one of my 2 roommates that I'd lived with 30 years ago. So I felt like a complete failure in life. 30 years, and I'm still in the bedroom with my, my old roommate. So during the day, you can find things to kind of distract you. You can go to Starbucks, you can go see some friends, whatever. At night, it's a whole different thing. It's just you and the darkness. And I can remember the first couple nights laying in bed and literally reaching my hands towards the ceiling, praying to God, wanting to hear an answer, and nothing. So because I couldn't sleep, I would get out and I'd wander the neighborhood. I would get up, and like I said, I didn't sleep, 11, 12, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I usually, as I wandered around, I usually ended up at this track that was at the local high school. And I would walk or run until I couldn't walk or run anymore.
Yeah.
And then I'd wander back towards the house. And at that time of night, it's dark, and because there's nothing going on, you hear like streetlights humming, critters run around, and crickets and things like that. And that was kind of soothing in a couple of ways, to be truthful.
Yeah.
So as I healed and got well, I started writing again, and publishers started sending me some young kids to write with and teach them a little bit of songwriting. So I was writing with this very talented young lady one time, and she told me she'd just submitted a song to a famous, major artist. And I said, well, what'd you hear? She said, crickets. I didn't know what that meant. I had to ask her, and she told me, and I thought, just like that is the next song I'm going to write, because the very thing that I thought was God ignoring me, those crickets talking, I remember that calm that came over me, was how he was talking to me. I mean, he was talking to me. And, if you look at the parallel, and I'm not a prophet, but the prophet was in the cave, and God wasn't in the thunder. He wasn't in this. He wasn't in that. He was in that still small voice. Well, that still small voice for me was a cricket. And that's where that song started for. And it started me on the journey of writing this book. That was a lot of talking. I apologize.
No. That was awesome. In fact, I was just waiting for an opportunity to bring up that song, because that was of the songs that you kindly sent me some of your music as well, which is amazing. I love this this track that you sent me, and one of the songs on there, in fact, the first one on there is Crickets. And man, everybody, you gotta go find the lyrics to this song. If you don't listen to the song, I mean, listen to the song, but if you don't listen to the songs, at least take a look at the lyrics. It brought tears to my eyes, man, because I have been where I mean, in that situation, you're like, are you here? Is this seriously? I've been yelling and nothing is happening. I've been talking, nothing's been happening.
Yeah.
I'm getting nothing but crickets, and that's it was such a great song, and it was a really validating. It was like, okay, well, at least I'm not the only one.
Well, I appreciate that.
So
there's still, I mean, I went through some things last week, nothing like I did then.
Yeah.
But when I start having these issues, troubles, whatever you want to call them, and I feel, where's God? Where's God? There's a little protected wildlife reserve here in Nashville. And I go there and start walking around. And when I was going through all this at that time, I can remember again crying out, where are you, God? And I just, you want to hear this big James Earl Jones baritone, and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
They were saying, show me you're here. And I was walking along, and all of a sudden this little breeze went across my face. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, that was just your imagination. But for me, that was God tenderly saying, I'm here. Trust me, I'm here. And those moments like that are kind of what got me through as I rebuilt my life.
Yeah, it's true. And those are the ones that are, it's kind of bittersweet, because that those are the moments that are the ones that he's talking to you. And he never said, in my experience, I've never heard from him the same way twice. It's like you hear from him in that still small voice, but it's always in a different way, and so you think he does that on purpose. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I understand the mind of God, but I have a feeling it's to keep us on our toes, because we have short memories.
I can definitely say
that stuff.
I don't know the mind of God. I flounder around, I struggle, and somehow he keeps, there's still to this day when certain things happen, then I question, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah.
And usually, I mean, things at the other side are better. Some of the things that I went through that I would never wish on anyone else, when I came out on the other side, it's like, oh, I don't like what I went through, but I like where I'm at.
Hey, yes, that's perfect. I feel the same way. It's true. I would never wish my surgical history on anybody. But if I hadn't done that, especially in the last 10, 12 years, if I hadn't had the surgeries that I've had the experiences I've had that were all very crazy, very unpredictable, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be talking to you. I wouldn't be, there's so many things that I would have missed out on. So it's about listening, right? It's correct me if I'm wrong, but it's about listening in the midst of that and actually recognizing that that's the voice that you need to listen to.
He's a pretty subtle little critter. I mean, he does things his own way. And I'm sure that out of the 100 things he does, I only catch one or two of them.
I mean, we definitely are not, and he knew that. I mean, when he created us, he knew that we weren't going to catch everything. And so that's why he's very patient and very persistent. So very thankful for that. So, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to a break just for a minute, but man, I can't wait to continue this conversation. I actually have an experience like that I want to share with you, if you don't mind, at the other side of the break. But it's what you were talking about reminded me of this, and this was just a few weeks ago. So everybody stick around. This is so cool. And by the way, your website, this QR code will lead people to your website, and we'll talk about that on the other side of the break too, so people know what they're getting when they get in there. And so, all right, everybody, stick around. Do not go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss the rest of this story. So we'll see you on the other side of the break. In fact, I'm going to start the break. So we'll see you in just a second, Kent. Thank you for being here.
All right.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna kick this break off here real quick, and I want to talk to you about Roast to Order Coffee because that is one of our sponsors, and I love this guy. I love Mike. Mike is just awesome because he and I get along really well, and the reason that we get along really well is because I have been a coffee nerd for years, and all the coffee nerds out there, you know what I'm talking about. I don't I don't buy a bag of coffee unless it's got a roast date within the last couple of weeks. I don't buy ground coffee. I buy coffee beans and then I grind them before I drink a cup of coffee. I'm that guy. I'm the nerd. I weigh the water. I weigh the beans. Some people say it's weird. I think I just say it gets it right. And so Mike gets it. He gets it. They roast the beans fresh when you order them, ships them to your door. When he shipped me the coffee I have from him, he shipped it to me. The roast date on it was September 12th. And I got it on September 17th or 18th or something. So it was less than a week old. It was amazing. And it's so good. So, so they come up with all kinds of new amazing varieties, flavors, types of coffee, types of delivery of coffee, whether it's pods or grounds or beans or whatever you like. Light roast, espresso, decaf, flavored. He's got you covered. In fact, we're coming up on Christmas. I know it's not Christmas, but it's getting close. Okay. Don't worry. He's got you covered. He's got e-gift cards. He's got coffee subscriptions for all the coffee nerds in the family. Use this QR code and you'll get 20% off your first order. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Greg Russell. I'm the host of TechnologyTuesday.com. You can find us on the Conscious Business TV network every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest resources to help you make more money in your business. Join us on E360 TV. Come on.
All right, welcome back, everybody, and thank you, Kent, for being here. This has been amazing. Appreciate it. I was gonna ask you, that's right. I was thinking I had a story that I thought of that I could so relate to what you were talking about, walking around the track and running until you couldn't stand up anymore. And I mean, come on, let's be honest, everybody. Everybody's had days like that, and you just want to punch a pillow until it punches a hole in it, right? Or you just want to run. Or I had an experience like that a few weeks ago, and the only thing I could think of, I just had to get out of the house, and the only thing I could think of was to go to our church, which we love our church. It's such a great place. We enjoy it so much. We've been there almost 20 years. And I was sitting in a parking lot and there was an event letting out and I was like, where are you? Same thing. Where are you? Like, where are you here? What is happening? You see what's going on in our life, right? Are you ignoring us? What's going on? And all of a sudden this, like you said, this giant wave of calm just came over me, and I had the urge that I never have, which is to turn on the radio, because who listens to the radio anymore with all the different apps and stuff that are out there? It's usually on your phone or in your Spotify or whatever. And I turned on the radio, and it was almost like somebody was waiting to press play until I turned it on. And the announcer on the radio station said, "God is good. He gives you what you need when you need it." And I said, "Okay, all right." And then I was kind of annoyed. I was like, "Okay, yeah, no, I know that." And it was like relief and annoyance at the same time, because it's like, well, of course he's going to come through right then, but it's times like that are so cool. And that's what that song that you wrote, Crickets, reminds me of. Every time I think about it, every time I hear it, it's that kind of experience that it reminds me of. So thank you for writing that. It was awesome.
I appreciate your kind words.
Yeah. And if anybody else hasn't heard it yet, you got to go listen. It's great. It's a great song. So, yeah. So, all right, let's, the title of your book is really cool too. It's what a lot of us experience. There's no way out but through. And sometimes that's how it goes. Tell it, like, where did you get the idea for that title? What was the inspiration? Did somebody encourage you to write the book? Was that just kind of out of nowhere? What was going on there?
Well, the original title of the book was called "The Wounds That Heal," and the whole thing that came out, and the reason I did that was, when I went through, but I used to be an elder in a church, and I would call on people that were going through different situations like a divorce, and I thought I was so wise, and I would say these, inspirational things until I went through it. And then I started thinking, what a pompous person I am. I could not understand their pain until I went through it. And so I say that to you because if you've gone through that, or the death of a child, or what you've gone through, you are uniquely gifted to be able and to witness and to talk to people and authentically know what they're going through, and listen, and that's the best advice you can ever give anyone, is just to listen. So that was the original title. And originally all I was going to do was write this. Whenever I release a song, I usually write like a 1-paragraph thing about what inspired me. And after I did that, some people tell me how the song was so good to them, that meant something to it. So then I came up with the idea, okay, I'm going to just put out like 12 of these songs and, put some little 1 paragraphs on it. And so then someone said, "Man, you really ought to write a book." So it just kept growing. And so I got together with a guy who's a very good author, who's award winning, and he worked with me. It was kind of, so I would write like 3,000 words and I'd send it to him. He would edit what I did, and he'd add another 1,000 words to it. And so little by little, we built this thing. And he said, that title's good, but I think there's something better. And then he found this quote from, I think it was, I don't want to mess up what it is. And when he said it, it fit what we were doing because, well, there's just so many reasons. I don't want to talk too much.
No, you're good.
So how do I, let me see if I can put this in the correct way. And every once in a while, one of my great, brilliant thoughts just goes off somewhere. So in the beginning of the book, we talk about, it says, God was the songwriter, I was the song. And that came about because when you, as a songwriter, you really do go into the void, to chaos. And you sift through it. And people ask me, how do you write songs? And you change one word in a song, and you change the whole meaning of that line, and that line could change the whole meaning of the song. So you're wandering around in chaos trying to find it and put this together. Well, I was wandering around in chaos, and God was putting me together. He was putting this word here, this sentence there, which was changing my outlook, which was changing me. And so we talk about, God was the songwriter, I was the song. And then that got me from where I was at because there was no way out of what I was going through until I got there. So that's kind of a long-winded story, but that's how we came about.
No, I love it. That's so cool. That's a great, yeah. That's,
but I didn't mention my co-writer, who my editor co-writer, his name is David Teams, a very, very talented person.
Yeah. And he wrote, and I see that, yeah, his name's right on there, you know, with, so yeah, that's fantastic. So, oh man, what a contributor.
He's awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, in the quote right on the cover, I mean, I wouldn't be out of turn here to mention some of the people you've been working with. I mean, you're right on the cover. You've got a quote from Garth Brooks, which is your friend, and you've worked with Gary Allan. You've worked with some big name people in Nashville and around the country, and I am in awe of that, because I mean you grow up listening to, I mean, I grew up listening to a lot of the artists that you've written for, and it's just so cool to put those pieces together and meet you and hear what you've done. So it's been really cool. So
Garth, I don't want to pretend like Garth and I go golfing together or anything. I met him when he first started his career.
Yeah.
We kind of came up together, and we're, like I said, we don't get together. We right now, because of the way his life's gone and mine's gone, we'll exchange a text or an email here and there,
sure,
2 times a year. But people always ask me what he's like, and I will go to my grave saying he is a genuine person who, every time I talk to him, it's, how are you doing? And positive things about me, about how I write and this, that, and the other. And there's things he's done that no one will ever know, like stopping along and no one knows who he was and changing the tire on someone's truck. You know, Garth Brooks changing the tire on the truck. Well, yeah, he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I never abuse that friendship.
No.
But I also respect it.
That's right, and that's important. You know, I have a couple people in my life like that too, and same thing. I get it. I totally understand, and you don't want to throw it around, but it's,
I do all the time. Don't want to know who I was if it weren't for that. There's 2 people that I've worked, writing with Garth. Actually, there's 3. Writing with Garth, having Gary Allan record one of my songs, and then there's I have a couple of people I wrote with that are besides Garth that are in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Okay. So any chance I get to drop a name, and I've gotten very proficient at just casually doing it like it was off, and I'm embarrassed by it, but it doesn't stop me.
I mean, yeah, no, it's true. Hey, use it when you can, I guess. Yeah, that's great. It's good. Well, that's the name. If you're going to drop a name, that's the one to drop, man. I'm telling you.
It's opened up some doors.
Oof, I'm telling you. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now you are taking that next step, and you are mentoring young artists that are wanting to write and wanting to be songwriters and artists in their own right. And so where does that start? Do you start work? Are you working with high schoolers? Are you working with college age kids? Are you working with, where do you work with
that? They're usually introduced to me by somebody. I'll give you one story on this one. So one of my good friends is Kent Maxson, and he wrote "If Tomorrow Never Comes, Ain't Going Down, the Sun Comes Up," bunch of big hits. So through the years, he's always been so good to me. Well, we did a house concert here. I don't know if you know what they are. We bring in a few musicians, and then you have a small group. So it's a very intimate thing. So he came over to this house concert, and we had a couple of famous people, artists from over in Europe, which most people here haven't heard of. And when he came over, he brought this kid with him who just kind of hit town. And his name was Matt Wynn. And he said, "Hey, I think you two would be good. Why don't you write together?" So Matt started coming over, and we started writing. Well, Matt has progressed now to, he had the last single for Reba McEntire. About 2 weeks ago, he had a big song in the movie credits. He's touring the country right now, and it just came about because a friend of mine introduced me to him. So that will happen, or a publisher will call me up and says, "Hey, I got this kid, whoever it is. Well, that happened. I met this young lady named Alyssa Trahan. A publisher asked me to come in and write with her. And oh man, is she talented. She's opened up from some of the biggest names out there, but she can sing, she can produce, she can play most any instruments. So I get blessed by meeting these people, and I hope that I've contributed a little bit to them because they've done so much for me. Yeah,
it's true. That's the name of the game. I love that. So what if you had to, I mean, with all the things that you've come through, what are some of the blessings that have come out of that? I mean, you know, that's how it always works, right? You come through the storm, and then here comes the unexpected blessing on the other side.
Well, the biggest blessing for me is my new wife. Her name is Cindy, and anyone who's met her knows that someone described her as Captain Kirk. You know, boldly goes where no one has ever gone before. She's not afraid of anything. She will try anything.
Nice.
And she drags me kicking and screaming because I'm a scaredy cat. He has absolutely changed my life. Being back here in Nashville, I would have kept on living the life that I didn't really care for. I was the training manager for a very large audio company, and it paid well. It was a little prestige and all that, but it wasn't what I was meant to be. So a lot of things have come out of this for me. I'm doing what I wrote my first song when I was 5 years old, and I've not stopped writing since then.
Wow.
So I'm doing what I wanted to do. I'm married to a beautiful, energetic Christian woman, and I live in the town that I love, Nashville. So that's kind of some of the things that have come about.
That's amazing. I love that part of the country, man. If I didn't live in Colorado, I love Colorado, but man, Franklin, Tennessee has got a special place in my heart. I love that area. So,
well, I grew up in West Texas, and the only way we knew about trees was in coloring books. So when I came out here, it's like, oh, that's what they are.
Yeah. And Tennessee, man, trees are, yes. Well, especially in your neck of the woods, man, there's some of the prettiest trees on the planet are there, man. Last time we were there, I just remember so many of those pink trees. You go there the right part of the year, and they're just blooming everywhere. Yeah.
We have some of those right in front of our house along the curb. So
nice.
One of the few places in Nashville that actually has a curb. So
yeah. No, I love it. That is such a cool part of the country. Now you're making me want to come out there again. We got to get back out there. I love Tennessee.
Well, come visit. You got a place to stay.
Oh, I appreciate that. I would be so excited to meet you in person. It'd be so fun. I might take you up on that. That's awesome. Well, I tell you what, we got one more break to go to, and then we're almost done here, but we got one more break to go to. So let's do that. And then let's figure out what to talk about on the other end of the break when we get there. But whatever it is, you don't want to miss it because, I mean, come on, this has been fun. So stick around, don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hi, I'm Sarah Stockham, and I'm host of Simply Sarah. Join me Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific on the Achieve TV network for the best energetic tools to elevate your amazing life right here on E360 TV.
Right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Kent, for being here. This is awesome. Man, this is good stuff. I'm still just kind of excited that we're here. You know, this is such a cool story, and if people haven't gone to your website yet, they should go scan that QR code and go and check out this book. And just that what I love about this book is that you've got song lyrics throughout it. You've got a lot of I don't know about all the songs on here, but I noticed there were several. That was obviously coordinated, but I love how you got that sprinkled in there, in different places. So
I appreciate that. I did that on purpose. There's 13 chapters. Each chapter has one or two stories from my life to illustrate what I think is a biblical truth. And then if you follow the QR code, you'll go to my site and you can either stream or buy the song, or you can watch a video with it.
Awesome. Yes, it is a very simple way to get to, and if people want to get in touch with you or ask you any questions or anything like that, can they reach out to you there too? Yep. I have leave a message for me, or you can become a member of my inner circle. It's nice. All there for you. I love to meet people. I really do. It's one of my favorite things to do. Love it. Me too. We got that in common. I love meeting people. I'm never turned down an introduction, and this was so cool. And by the way, everybody, if one of these is where you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, because I know we broadcast the E360, we also broadcast on Facebook and YouTube every time we record a show. And so if you are on one of those platforms, if you haven't already, I'm sure some of you have already because you've been watching, and I appreciate that. You can always comment, and drop a comment in there, and then we can answer you back that way. So if you haven't already and you have a question for Kent, or you want to know more about something he's doing, just drop a comment in there, or go to or scan the QR code and go to his website, and we can get you. He'll connect with you there. So very cool, and I love that music has been such a center of your life, because I'm the same way since, I've been singing since high school, and got to travel the world singing with a group, and done all kinds of fun things because of music. And it's such an emotional thing. Like you're walking through the mall, or walking through a stadium, or walking down the street, or in the supermarket, or whatever, and something's happening in your life, and there's a song playing, right? And that song sticks in your brain and attaches to that experience, right? Every single time. I can think of, like you talked about, a couple of Garth's songs, and the first song I ever sang in front of people was in junior high, and it was The River. And so every time I hear the beginning of that song, it takes me back to this basement of our church, at a youth group, and getting ready to sing in front of about 50 people in the youth group, and terrified out of my mind, but music is so cool that way. And I love that that's what you do, because it affects so many people. So
I hope it does. I hope it does make such a positive difference in people's lives.
yeah, it's such a cool industry to be in, and such an opportunity to change people that way. It's so cool. So, so with, you've done all these things, right? You've written the music, and you've written this book, and you've spoken on probably countless shows like TV and podcasts. And what is the most important message you always want to leave with people who hear your story?
I don't want the story to be about me, but I could only tell it from my point of view. I guess I would do it this way. When I do some shows, presentations around, and the very first sentence I almost always say is, my name is Kent Maxson. I've written songs with Garth Brooks. I got a gold record with Gary Allan. And then I will pause a second. I said, why do you think I started with that? Wouldn't it be nice if I said I was a follower of Jesus and you pay the same attention? But if I say I've wrote with Garth Brooks, all of a sudden everyone wants to know about me. Which one is more important, Garth Brooks or God? And so then I said, I'd like to, witness. And so I get into this. I am not a preacher. I am not anything like that. I am a witness to what he did for me. And that's one thing. I don't want to be judged as a preacher. I don't want to hold up to the scrutiny of it. But and Jesus said, you will be my witnesses throughout the world. My way of witnessing is my stories and my songs.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole Bible, is stories and songs. That's all it is.
Jesus taught parables, which are stories to get across learning points. And hope, I'm not putting myself on the level of him. I'm just saying this is how I know how to do it.
Well, learn from the best, right? If you want to get a point across, put it in a story, put it in a song. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. So obviously songwriting has been a healing aspect for you. Have you had a lot of people reach out to you that have heard either things that you've written or had experience with you as a songwriter, helping them write songs? Have you heard that testimony from people too?
I have a very good friend of mine who he was very skeptical about Christianity, and I think one of the worst things you can do is try to beat someone over the head. And so I just carried on the friendship, and he actually helped me to record some of this album. So he was hearing the songs, played some instruments on it, helped produce it.
Nice.
And so then after that, I told him about the book. And so he went and bought one. And then he says, I'm starting to think about that. Well, he took one home to his parents, and they were followers of Jesus. And so they read through it and told him how good it was. So now I'm not going to say he's changed his whole thing, but he is definitely curious and asking questions about it. So who knows where it'll lead? If he does, it's not me that's doing it. It's the Holy Spirit working in him.
It is. Well, and you and I both know that it's not just one touch, and that most of the time it's multiple people through somebody's life that kind of leads them. God doesn't need us for any of it. He could do it himself if he wanted to, but he includes us out of grace to be able to help other people and be able to point back to him. And so, I love that. You don't know who you're gonna influence, with that word or that prayer or whatever that you spend with somebody. And you're right, you might not ever know if he, whatever happens there, but it's cool to be a part of it though. Right. Like
it is
really cool. So, yeah. Well, so anything we got a couple minutes left. Is there anything that, that's coming up that's exciting that you want to tell us about, or any last in the next, we got about 2 or 3 minutes, any words that you want to leave our audience with today?
I've got some book signings coming up. If I were going to leave with any thoughts, I guess I'm going to also go to something I try to say to people. I usually introduce myself as a follower of Jesus and not as a Christian. And it's not because I don't like that label. I have found that from my point of view, when you start saying Christian, there's a lot of negative baggage that goes to it because there's imperfect people in the church, but they'll argue about things like whether or not you sprinkle or dunk, or whether or not the wine is blood or not. And they say one thing inside the building and then they go outside and do something different. So I don't like that label. It's not that I'm not a Christian and not that I don't say it. I like to tell people I'm a follower of Jesus. And for me, that states more about my beliefs, because I can worship inside of almost any of those buildings. But I need to make sure that my relationship is with him and not a building.
Right. Exactly. Well, I think that was one of the first things that we noticed when we first met a few weeks ago, when we got on our first call together. And I said the same thing. I said, follower of Jesus, or Jesus follower, or something, some variation of that. And you commented on that because you're like, that's what I say too, because it's more descriptive and it's more accurate, because you're right. Christian could mean, there's a lot of people that say they're Christians that mean totally different things. So yeah.
I don't follow a church. I follow a man.
That's right. Well, and our pastor says that a lot. He says, look, this is just a building, man. This is not the church. This is not the church. You and I are the church. You and I following Jesus, that's the church. And the building is just where we just happen to have this nice surrounding, so we don't have to meet out in the cold all the time, So yeah. If this thing fell to the ground tomorrow, we'd still have Jesus,
Yep.
So,
You're right.
Yeah, I love it. That's fantastic. Well, I'm so glad that we got to do this. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing and everything that you are spreading the word of God through your book and through your music and through everything you're doing and through your life. And it shows, and it's just so cool to meet somebody that's making a difference in that way. So
the last thing I guess I would like to say is that if anyone is interested in my message or what I'm trying to do, you can contact me through my website, because I do go out and I will do a small presentation show, whatever you want to call it, hour to hour and 15 minutes, where I will tell some of the stories, the biblical truths, and play a song that hopefully supports it. That's how I witness. And I love the opportunity to go wherever I can to do that.
Oh, that's beautiful. I will put my thinking cap on, because there are lots of places in Colorado Springs that I think would love to host you. So in fact, our church does that. We've got blessed to have a very nice large building, and so we've had artists, from all kinds of different industries come in and do shows there. So maybe we'll get to meet in person sooner than we think. That'd be fun.
That'd be great.
That's amazing. Well, man, thank you for being here, and thank you for your time and for your stories and for your just being real. I appreciate it. Thanks, Kent.
Thanks for having me here. I've enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Stick around for just a minute after, and we'll talk about what's next. Thank you.
All right.
Oh man. Okay. All right. That was cool. Man, thank you for being here, by the way. I know that those of you that have been sticking around for the whole time, I mean, we're already in season 6, guys. This is unbelievable to me. I feel like we're just getting started, but I feel like, wow, season 6, here we are. Let's keep going. And you are such a huge part of that. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your continued growth and your bringing your friends. I love seeing the audience grow, because it means that you value what we're doing, and you value the stories that we have on here. And I'm just so thankful for you. And so I would invite you to like and follow and subscribe and share and all the things, to be in the loop about next time we're going to have a show and who's going to be there. So speaking of our next show, that will be on Friday, October 31st. So join us then, and I will look forward to seeing you there. Till then, have an amazing day. See you soon.